Welcome back to Make It Mental, everybody. Why am I wearing such a silly little face covering, right? It's to protect you guys, to be totally safe, right? We need to be safe. We need to mask up, right? We need to vaccine up. We need, because when we walked out of a cave one day, we had a doctor and a pharmacist and a biotechnician right at our side. When we walked out of that cave, they were ready to administer our very first vaccine. That's how that works. The mask, if done properly, should have a good seal against your face, against the side of your face, against your forehead. And if you have a single filter or two filters, once you don your mask and adjust the straps properly, you inhale. As you inhale, you should feel that mask tighten up against your face. Right? If you got two filters, then you're going to cover both filters with the palm of your hand and do the same thing. You're going to inhale, and it's going to create a tight seal. That type of mask is the only mask that is actually rated for a virus. You ever get a flu shot? Maybe it didn't work for you, maybe it did work for you, but I'm sure you've heard on the news that flu shots don't work for everybody. There's a reason why it doesn't work for everybody, right? And that's because a virus mutates, right? When they develop a flu vaccine, the flu vaccine is only a best guess at that moment in time when they are making the vaccine. This is a best guess, right? They may detect a certain strain at a certain moment in time, and they develop a flu vaccine for that particular virus or pathogen at that particular time. By the time it gets somewhere else in the United States, it's probably changed, right? Because that's what viruses do. They change, they mutate, they evolve, right? Some people's immune systems are weaker than others. Some people's immune systems are stronger than others, like mine. I have what I would consider a very strong immune system, although as I'm getting older, it is going downhill, but it's still a very strong immune system by comparison. Right? I beat COVID without a vaccine. I beat shingles without a vaccine. I had chicken pox. Back then, I don't think there was a vaccine. There might have been. I don't know. I'm not even sure if I was ever vaccinated against chicken pox, but I highly doubt it being the age that I am. But now, my youngest daughter, she's vaccinated against chicken pox, right? So she probably doesn't have to worry about it. But as time progresses, either way, whether you're vaccinated or not vaccinated, as time progresses and you're not exposed to that certain pathogen, let's just say it's chicken pox. If you're not exposed to it for many years, let's say it's 20 years, 30 years, 40 years later, you can receive it again in the form of shingles, right? Because that virus really doesn't die. You older people around my age group, or maybe even older, know what I'm talking about. It just lays dormant inside you somewhere, right? And then something triggers it. And if you notice, or if you're doing any kind of research at all, you'll know that the chickenpox virus or shingles happens to coincide a lot with the COVID-19, if you've done any kind of research at all. Is my personal opinion that the COVID could be a trigger mechanism for the COVID. Now, whether or not that's accurate, I don't know. All I know for sure is I got COVID, and a short time after, I got shingles. Same with my wife, right? And we're both of the age where we're not vaccinated against chickenpox. But what I want to primarily emphasize is a healthy lifestyle, right? Eating right, exercising, right? The pharmaceutical industry, they don't want you to be healthy. Why? Because they don't make money when you're healthy. The number one cause for people being on ventilators in the ICU are because people with a compromised immune system, resistance to insulin. In other words, they had some other complications, maybe a transplant, maybe they're on immune system depressants, meaning that suppress your immune system for whatever reason, or maybe you are naturally immunocompromised. Right there. So there are reasons why people don't get vaccinated. And there's a reason why I don't get vaccinated, because I want the right to choose whether or not something is going into my body that might cause a severe allergic reaction or not. I know studies say despite the warnings, it's totally safe most of the time. Therefore, you should have it in your body, or else, right? And that's where I'm going next, or else. And we've probably seen, I know I have, you probably have seen it. If you're of working age, you more than likely have seen it, and you may have been threatened with it. You have to go get vaccinated, or else there's the fucking door. What has this world come to? Not just the United States, this is a worldwide thing. They want to fully vaccinate the entire world population. I personally have never heard of such a thing. Never in my lifetime. Nor have I ever read about it in any history book where you had to get fully vaccinated. They wanted the whole world to get fully vaccinated. Why is this so important? There has to be a bigger agenda here. Now we see places like New York, right? I just saw in the news this morning, New York wants to start making it mandatory where if you go into a bar, a restaurant, a gym, you have to present your papers, right? Like Nazi Germany. You can't enter unless you have your papers. Discrimination. We have all kinds of anti-discrimination laws here in the United States of America. All kinds of them. If I'm an employer and I discriminate against a black person, I can be fined or imprisoned, what have you. If I discriminate you upon race, religion, color, whatever. There are all male, female, transgender, I feel pretty today, whatever the fuck it is. If I discriminate against you, that is a huge fine. That could be jail time, prison time, whatever the case may be, if you can prove it, right? But now it's going to become perfectly legal to discriminate against you. You won't be able to get a driver's license if you don't have your vaccination papers. You won't be able to go shopping if you don't present your card, whatever that case may be. I know some religious nuts are calling it the mark of the beast, and it very well could be. I mean, it is written in the Bible, prophesied, but to me it's literally taken as a stamp on your head or a mark on your wrist. But either way, it's discriminatory, right? It should always be your fundamental right to choose. I don't care where in the entire world you live. You should have the right to choose what goes into your body. These people who make these laws, would they knowingly have sex with somebody with an STD? Well, you might get it, you might not get it. Who knows? Right? Odds are it's probably pretty safe to have sex with somebody who has chlamydia. Probably pretty safe. But you might get it. That's the same way with the vaccine. You might get it, you might not. That's how I feel about it. And what are the long-term side effects of the vaccine after 10 years, 20 years? Or what are the long-term side effects of the COVID? Nobody knows. But they want to force everybody to get a syringe full of this shit. Right? Polyethylene glycol, or ethylene glycol, a common compound found in antifreeze. A petroleum byproduct that's been highly refined, used commonly in other medications. But is that something you really want to stick in your body? It's a petroleum product. I mean, I'd highly research what you want to do. I'm not saying don't get vaccinated, but get vaccinated if you want to, right? Make it your choice. Make it your choice. Don't make me wear a silly mask because you think I'm going to be dangerous to you when you are fully vaccinated. Evidently, you don't have much faith in your vaccination if you want me to mask up, right? Your vaccination obviously isn't doing much good if you want me to mask up and for me to have a vaccination, right? You think your stuff is so much better, then go do it. Have sex with this thing on, right? Drive in a car with it on. I've seen you driving down the road with your little silly paper mask. Let me show you a paper mask. I don't know how well this will show up on camera. This is a surgeon's mask. I wore this a couple of times, because it's mandatory to go into some places with it. But what do you see on there? What do you see on there? That's called black mold. Black mold. It looks like carbon deposits. It's not. It's black mold. Do research on black mold. Do some research on it. I'm a former NBC NCO. I have skills and training that less than 0.1% of the entire United States population has even received on biological and chemical warfare. I think I know a little bit about how pathogens work. A little bit. But anyway, just to recap, your rights are being taken away. Present your papers or else, right? And voting seems to coincide with voting. Voting's right around the corner to be able to vote for our new president. They got to keep reinforcing this wave of shit coming on, right? It's a 10th wave. It's a 1,000th wave. It's a 100,000th wave of COVID. Man, I think one day the people are going to get tired of it and they're going to have to reinvent something to keep the people in fear, to keep the people believing that the government is the savior, right? But most people have a natural immune system response. Remember that. Most people have a natural immune system response. When you get diarrhea, you recover from it, right? You're not having diarrhea 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for the rest of your life. You would die from it, right? What happens when you eat something bad? You get food poisoning, probably get diarrhea, maybe even throw up, get headaches, chills, cold sweats, whatever the case may be, muscle aches, pain, fever, right? But more than likely, you probably recovered from it. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching this video. I hope you all get something from this today because my other video was banned. I don't know. I guess big tech and the government does not like a free and independent thinking mind. Have a good day.